Let's learn about Java classes, fundamentals of classes, and then various methods and operations. So this is a theory section. So what we are going to cover in this video. So introducing classes. So we will see class fundamentals, then simple class, what is how to declare the objects, then assigning object reference variables, then the second is introducing methods and passing parameters to methods. So that we will see. Let's see one by one. So basically class is a new data type. We saw different primitive data types like integer, float, double, then char, like that. So they are primitive data types, but this is a custom data type, we can say, or new data type, which is once defined. The new this data type can be used to create objects of that data type, and it's a class is a template of for an object, and the object is an instance of a class. So main will be class, then it object is an so which is a template for this object, and this object is an instance of this class. We will see example wise how this is. So this is a syntax of a class, how we create. So class is we write class, then class name. This name can be anything based on our requirement. Then there are different types. What we call that as instance variable that we can declare here. Then we have methods. So methods are nothing but the operations which are we are going to perform on the classes. So class type method name will be the name of method, and then its data type, return type, and then body of that method. So these can be various steps of operations which we wanted to implement, that can be written in this body of the method. So so this is an example of class where class is class, we write class, then box class. This is the name of the class which we can give anything, and suppose this is a box for which we wanted to write a class. So we will say its name as box class, and then class, and then these are the different instance variables. So a class is having various properties like so this box is having various properties like width, height, depth. So and we can perform various operations on this box, like calculate volume of that box, then measure height, things like that. So for that we need these three variables, or the three properties of this class box, which is width, height, and depth. So this is how we declare it. And to create an object of a class, so when we are creating a class, we need an object of that class to perform various initialization of the methods, or calling the methods of the class. So how we do this? So whatever the class name it give as class name, this name can be anything. This is a variable name, kind of, or object name. So my box is equal to new box class. So new is as a keyword, box class is again a class name, and we'll need to have this bracket as well, and then semicolon. So this way we can create an object of a class. And then this is another class, how we write a program, and how we create and use object in a class. Suppose this is a box practice is class. So we have initially box class, and my box is equal to new box class. So this is our old class object, and for that class we are just assigning values. My box dot width, we will just assign some width, height, and depth. So that means we are assigning some values to the instance variable of the other class. So that can be possible with this by creating a object name which is called as my box, which will refer to the old class which is box class. And then we can just perform some operations, or just calculate volume of the box by using this variable values. So you will see my box dot width into my box into height into depth. So this will give the volume of that particular box based on the inputs provided, and then we will display that in this. program. So how to declare an object? So declare a variable of the class type. Or acquire a physical copy of the object and assign it to that variable. So whenever we are creating or declaring an object, it is just acquiring a physical copy of that particular variable. So let's say this is a box class which we have written, and my box which is equal to new box class. So this is equivalent to so just one line code can be written like this. My box class is my box. So this is we are just declaring a reference to object, and my box is equal to new box class. So it is just allocating. So first one is referencing of the object, or declaring the reference object, and the second one is allocating a box object. But what happens internally, let's say in a detail. So whenever we say box class my box like this, so this is a reference to the class. So this class we have created, and this my box is an object name which is just reference to this class. So what happens? So it internally it creates an physical copy or physical memory for that particular variable, which will be the empty. Now when we are creating we are saying my box is equal to new box class. Whenever we are using new operator, then what happens, it for this particular blank physical copy or memory, all the attributes of that class will be assigned. So whatever the instance variables or attributes like width, height, depth, which are in that particular class, that will be assigned to this my box. So that means whenever we are saying new statement, for this variable, all this width, height and depth instance variable will be allocated. So this is how it works. So first we have we have saw the class, fundamental of class, how to create a fundamental. Then it is uh, how to create a class which is a logical framework and which defines the relationship between its members. So and then we saw what is when object is declared and instance of class is created. So it is a logical construct, and object has a physical reality. That's what we have seen here, which is nothing but this is a physical reality of that particular object or that particular class. Now coming to the next point is assigning object to reference variable. So we have one whenever we can have two instance variables which where we can assign one reference variable to another. So let's say box class b1 is equal to new box class. This b1 is first instance variable or object, and then box class b2 b1. So what we are doing, b1 is getting assigned to b2, but how internally it happens? So b1, whenever we are creating b1 b equal to new box class, it gets assigned to this width, height, depth, and when we are assigning this b2 is equal to b1, so that means b1 is assigning to b2, that means b2 will get its properties of all this, like it will get width, height, depth, the instance variables gets assigned automatically. So this is the way. We don't need a new statement for b2 as well if you are just referencing another object. Then another member of the class is methods. So this is a syntax of methods. So methods are nothing but the operations to be performed on the class. So basically class has two members, one is instance variable and other is methods. So we have seen instance variables, how we create and what are different instance variables, and then this is the method which will have this syntax, which is return type. This is a return type, it can be integer, double, like this. Then name, this name can be anything. Then parameter list, so this is sequence of type and identify separated by a comma. So it can be, we will see an example how we can create different parameter, add different parameters to the method. And then there will be some body of method which will be the steps of the calculation of that particular method and return value. so which will just return the result of that particular method to the calling class. Now let's see example of this method. So this is our class, box class. So we have width, height, depth are three instance variable, and then we have one method which is being created. So volume is the method we have created, double is the return data type, and so it will what this function will do, it will just return so width into height into depth. So whatever the calculation, whatever the value for this particular three variables, it will just multiply and just return. So how this is being done? So this is another class where we have created two instances, two instance variable, box1, my box1 and my box2 for this box class, and then we are assigning some values. So my box1 dot width is equal to 10, height 20, depth 15. So for my box1 we are assigning three variables, three different values. Then my box2 again we have separate instance variable or object where we are assigning three different values which are here. And now what we are doing, volume is equal to my box1 dot volume. So what we are doing, we are from this program we are calling this function which is volume of this class. So how it reference, my box1 is this one which is created referring to this class. Then it will go to this my whole volume where from here it will calculate. So how it will get these values, what are the values? So this will come from my box1. So my box1 has width as 10, height as 20, depth as 15. So this is the calculation of this which will be passed to this, and then it will return and then it will be printed. Similar way for my box2 object as well, it will give some different values, and then it can be comes to here to calculate that volume, and it just print here. So this is a method. So this is whatever you see highlighted, yellow highlighted here is a method, and how to call from the that method from other class. Then we can see how to pass the parameters. So generally if you see this first, we don't have any parameters, it's just a blank to opening and closing brackets, but we can pass different parameters. So here similar way we have created my box and my box1 and my box2 are two objects of box class, and then we are just calculating setDim. So this is another function, setDim. What we are doing, we are assigning these values. So whatever this three lines of code which we have written here, we can and three lines here and three lines here, so 6 lines. Instead of 6 lines we can just have one line which will just pass these values 10, 20, 15. So it will be, this is width, height, depth. So this is just an writing means whatever the values this is passed from here, it will just assign this width, height, depth for this instance variable. A similar way my box2 is also calling setDim function, and then we are using that as my box1 dot volume function to calculate. So this way we can pass parameters as well from the method. So this is all about this video. We have covered class and its objects, instance variables and methods. So I hope you have understood this concept. If you have any questions, then please put it in comment section, and if you like my video, then please like it. Thank you for watching.